Hello, curious minds! Prepare to have your perception of reality completely shattered! Today, we dive into 70 facts so strange, you'll swear they're fake. But trust me, they're 100% TRUE. First up, the Dancing Plague of 1518. Hundreds of people in Strasbourg. Weeks. Meet the Turritopsis dornii, the immortal jellyfish. It can revert to its juvenile polyp stage after reaching maturity. Ever heard of Lake Natron in Tanzania? Its incredibly high pH and salt content literally petrify animals into statues. Mind-boggling fact. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the construction of the Great Pyramid. The Mantis shrimp has the most complex eyes in the animal kingdom, capable of seeing polarized light and 12 to 16 primary colors, far beyond our measly 3. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. It lasted between 38 and 45 minutes. Wood frogs can literally freeze solid in winter, stopping their heart and breathing, then thaw out in spring and hop away like nothing happened. Your stomach acid is so powerful, it can dissolve razor blades. Don't try it at home, obviously. There's a real exoplanet, 55 Cancri, that scientists believe is made largely of diamond. Imagine mining rights there. Because the moon has no wind or atmosphere, Neil Armstrong's footprints will likely remain there for millions of years. You say, I'll be there in a jiffy. But did you know a jiffy is an actual scientific unit of time? It's 1/100th of a second. Cows aren't just livestock. They form complex social bonds and can even have best friends. Separate them, and they get stressed. The Earth's rotation is gradually slowing down. Thus means days are getting longer, but only by about 1.8 milliseconds per century. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just one guinea pig. They're considered social animals and need a companion to avoid loneliness. Astronauts report that space has a distinct smell. Seared steak, hot metal, and welding fumes. Not quite the floral aroma you'd expect. The Greenland shark can live for up to 500 years, making it the longest living vertebrate on Earth. It practically saw the Vikings land. Get this! The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. Yes, the mythical, magical unicorn. In 18th century Europe, pineapples were so rare and expensive, people would rent them as party decorations, not to eat. Forget-me-nots can change their flower color based on the pH of the soil, acting like tiny, living litmus papers. Here's a fun one. A shrimp's heart is actually in its head. Talk about having your priorities straight. Your brain generates enough electricity to power a small light bulb. Imagine the bright ideas you're constantly having. The deepest point in the ocean, the Mariana Trench, is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. We know more about Mars than our own ocean floor. There's a parasitic fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis that literally turns ants into zombies, controlling their mind. Wombats are the only animals in the world that produce cube-shaped poop, perfect for stacking their territory markers. Woolly mammoths were still alive on Wrangel Island in the Arctic when the Great Pyramids of Giza were being built, a true overlap of ancient history. The hippopotamus milk is pink. It contains 2 unique acids that give it a reddish-orange color, mixing with the white milk to create a lovely rosy hue. Astronauts can temporarily grow up to 3% taller in space. Without gravity compressing their spines, they literally stretch out. Your body contains enough iron to make a small nail. But please, don't try to forge one. Sloths can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes underwater, longer than dolphins. Who's slow now? Did you know a group of ferrets is called a business? Imagine a boardroom meeting with those mischievous little guys. Yes, you can absolutely get a sunburn on your tongue, especially if you like to sunbathe with your mouth open after eating ice cream. A single coffee bean contains a chemical called tryptophan, which, in very large doses, the narwhal's magnificent tusk isn't a horn at all. It's an elongated canine tooth, packed with nerve endings. Pope Urban II had the shortest papacy in history, reigning for only 13 days in 1590 before dying of malaria. Rats actually laugh when tickled. It's a high-frequency chirp, inaudible to humans, but it proves they enjoy a good tickle fight. The sun loses a mind-boggling billion kilograms of mass every single second through solar winds and fusion. In the world of seahorses, it's the males who get pregnant and carry the babies in a specialized brood pouch. Talk about role reversal! While we think of rainforests as tropical, Oregon actually has a temperate rainforest. Lush, green, and full of unique life, but much cooler. Lobsters don't technically die of old age. They can live indefinitely, only dying from external factors like disease or being caught. The Eiffel Tower can actually grow by up to 15 centimeters during the summer. The heat causes the iron to expand. The smell of freshly cut grass? That pleasant aroma is actually a chemical distress signal the plants release when they're being attacked. In the 1830s, ketchup was actually sold as medicine. A doctor claimed it could cure indigestion and other ailments. Butterflies use their feet to taste. They have chemoreceptors that allow them to taste plants before deciding to lay eggs. That famously ugly blobfish? It only looks like that because it's brought to the surface. In its deep-sea habitat, there are more possible iterations of a game of chess than there are atoms in the observable universe. Mind-blowing complexity. A cat's tongue is covered in tiny, spine-like barbs made of keratin. They act like a grooming comb, stripping meat from bones and cleaning fur. Some birds, like frigate birds, can actually sleep while flying. They engage in unihemispheric sleep. The average cumulus cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds. That's roughly the weight of 100 elephants floating over your head. You are statistically more likely to be killed by a vending machine than a shark. Stay safe out there, snackers! If you remold all the empty space from atoms, the entire human race could fit into the volume of a single apple. We're mostly empty. The Great Pyramid of Giza once had a pivoting door that was so perfectly crafted, it was nearly invisible from the outside. The moon isn't geologically dead. It experiences moonquakes. These are usually much weaker than earthquakes, but they do happen. The world's quietest room, an anechoic chamber at Microsoft, is so silent you can hear your own blood flowing. It's utterly disorienting. Saturn's moon Titan has entire lakes and rivers of liquid methane and ethane. You could literally swim in natural gas. Unlike almost all other planets in our solar system, Venus rotates clockwise, a truly unique cosmic rebel. The oldest known living organism isn't a single tree, but a clonal colony of quaking aspen trees in Utah called Pando. It sometimes literally rains fish in certain parts of the world. Waterspouts pick up fish from the ocean and drop them miles away. Humans actually glow in the dark. Our bodies emit visible light, but it's 1,000 times dimmer than what our naked eyes can perceive. The entire continent of Antarctica is governed by a treaty that dedicates it to peaceful scientific research, forbidding military activity and mineral mining. Known as the Pemba effect, hot water can sometimes freeze faster than cold water under certain conditions. It still baffles scientists. Studies suggest that male birds are better at singing in more complex and beautiful ways when they have more female admirers. The largest living organism on Earth isn't a whale or a giant redwood, but a fungus. A honey fungus in Even if kept in perpetual darkness, most humans will still maintain a sleep-wake cycle that's slightly longer than 24 hours. Jupiter's Great Red Spot, a storm larger than Earth, has been shrinking. We don't fully know why, but it's getting smaller over time. The Great Filter is a hypothesis suggesting there's a barrier preventing life from developing into advanced civilizations. People with amputated limbs often still feel sensations, even pain, in the limb that's no longer there. It's called phantom limb syndrome, a mystery of the brain. Despite their immense weight, clouds don't fall because the water droplets and ice crystals are so tiny they're kept aloft by air currents. And that was a lot of mind-bending. But remember, the world is full of incredible, bizarre, and utterly true wonder.